Canola School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Alberta Canola Producers Commission, SAS Canola, and Manitoba Canola Growers.
So the Cutworm Research Project is it came out of the fact that we have new cutworm species showing up, and in non-traditional sort of times of the year and areas and things like that, and there's new species. So the Canola Council has funded several researchers across Western Canada to look at what species are showing up and their timing, and actually go all the way back to species, because it will affect how we manage the control. So that's the basis of the research project. Well, traditionally we've always seen redback cutworm, pale western cutworm, and army cutworm are the big three. And now we're seeing things like glassy cutworm in the Peace and other parts of the prairies. Southern Alberta, for example, we're seeing quite a bit of dingy cutworm. And traditionally, pale western was in southern Alberta. Now we're finding it more in central Alberta. And we're finding redback in southern Alberta, where pale western was more common. So there's lots of things changing. And there's unidentified species that are causing trouble and things like that. So the basic concept is to collect them in the field, rear them to adulthood, and then ID them properly to species. And also part of the project is to look at the genetic identification of them as well. So that in the long term we'll be able to take a cutworm that is hard to tell what species it is and actually run it through a sequencer and know exactly what species it is. So there's a lot of parts to the research project. Yeah, what it means is we're seeing cutworms later into the season. We're seeing sometimes the chemicals not working for some of the species. Some of the species are totally subterranean, which means they never come to the surface. So the chemicals won't work as well. So it's important to know the species so we know what to do about them. Yeah. Well, yeah, for the next 2 years, we will be looking for those in-field collections. And the in-field collections are critical to the success, the long-term success of the project. Producers, we want producers to be, get a hold of us and let us know they're finding cutworms, or agrologists if they're out scouting and they're finding cutworms. So we'll take them from wherever, and really from wherever across the prairies. So however they come in and whoever is doing it, but we really need the field input, because it's a critical portion of the research. Yeah, if they're able to collect and send them to us, we actually want the cutworms collected individually in vials, handled gently, because they actually damage quite easily when they're handled. So handled gently into individual vials with a little bit of plant material and no soil, and then shipped immediately directly to the closest researcher that's rearing them. So each province or part of the province will be different. So we'll have to have a communication about where to send them. In Alberta, probably one way into the whole system is through myself, through the Alberta Agriculture Pest Monitoring Network homepage. In Saskatchewan and Manitoba, probably the provincial entomologists, so John Gavlosky in Manitoba and Scott Hartley in Saskatchewan, is the entry point. They may or may not be involved in the collection and rearing, but they'll get you to whoever needs to do the work.